Hey there, YouTube. My name is Sparrows, coach of the New England Eeveelutions, a Monotype Ghost team in the YouTubers Monotype Tournament. And today we have our match up against the organizer of the league, KnSlash, and his team of Normal-type Pokemon, the Dallas Raticates. Now above you can see the team that I'm prepping for. I get more in depth onto why I'm bringing what I'm bringing, why I think he's going to bring these mons above in this link right there, and I'll bring you to a team prep video. Now, I do want to have a little sort of fair warning. Our team this week, super gimmicky, might not work. It is a Suicide Trick Room team, and I get more in depth into it in the link. But now let's switch over to the team he actually ends up bringing. And as you can see, this week he's going to bring a Porygon 2 instead of a Chansey, and a Heliolisk instead of a Porygon Z. Not really too threatened, a lot of his mons are interchangeable, so our strategy should still work, even with these changes his team has made. That said, we're going to jump into the match now. Alright, so the plan here is to lead with our Sableye and pull off, bait him into bringing out his Lopunny. But he leads out with his Porygon Z, or Polygons, which is Porygon 2. It's really confusing. He leads with Polygons, his Porygon 2. And he traces my Prankster, actually. And what this ends up doing is he's faster than regular Sableye. So he's able to get the Thunder Wave off first, and I'm able to bounce back as a Mega. So I didn't get a timer on this thing, unfortunately. And he paralyzes himself, which is unfortunate because we are running a Trick Room team. I should have gone for another Will-O-Wisp here, but I was thinking he was just going to keep his Porygon 2 in, so I do go for a Power Up Punch. This is a really bad situation for us. And if I could have gotten a burn off on his Lopunny, we'd be in really, really great shape. Unfortunately, we have to switch out into our dedicated Lopunny switch in Cofagrigus. Now, at the last minute, I sort of decided to go for a Rocky Helmet instead of Leftovers on Cofagrigus, which is something I kind of regret. But as you can see here, he goes for a High Jump Kick, and it does a lot of damage to Cofagrigus, more than I would have liked. And he does take Rocky Helmet. There's the thought process behind going for the Rocky Helmet instead of Leftovers, because this thing's going to suicide itself anyways. As we set up the Trick Room here, and then next turn we're going to use Momentum to get momentum for ourselves. Now, what's cool about this strategy is I get to sort of scout out what my opponent was doing. Unfortunately, it got in my head too much, and the plan was to bring out Golurk here. Sweep 2 or 3 bombs with Golurk, then switch out and then have Dusclops do the same thing. But he used Grass Knot, and that freaked me out, and I totally forgot about the fact that his Grass Knot would have been reduced due to Memento. So I go in my Trevenant, which is not the best play in the world, but what I'm stuck with. So Trevenant's going to start using some Power Punches and set up on this thing. Porygon Z goes for Thunderbolt. I guess he doesn't have access to Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse on Porygon. Porygon 2 with Polygons. Dang it. I just go for a Leech Seed and get some moderate amount of health back. I know he's going to switch out at this point, so I'm going to set up a sub while he switches into his SwellowsCan't. And I do not like the position I'm in right now, to be honest. We see that he's a physical Swellow, not a special Swellow, and he goes for Pursuit. But we're staying in, and we go for a Drain Punch here. I really wish, in hindsight, that we went for a substitute again, because we could totally just burn down his timer a little bit so that a Drain Punch would kill. But at this point, there's nothing I want to take a Brave Bird, so I'm just going to let Tuatha Day go down to a Brave Bird, and he'll kill himself with Brave Bird. If he went for a Pursuit, that would have been ideal. We would have been able to lift the Pursuit, and our Citrus Berry would have popped. It would have been a good situation. Here, he goes out into his Cinccino, and I go out into Wonka Vision, my Gengar. I'm going for a Focus Blast. He outspeeds me, so we know he's Scarfed, so I don't have to worry about Cinccino killing me with a knockoff, which is really great. Although I'm pretty sure this Gengar is Focus Sash anyways. But Rock Blast doesn't do enough. We are able to connect the Focus Blast and take out the Cinccino. And here he brings out his Heliolisk, and his Heliolisk, I was really afraid this thing had Focus Sash. That was another reason why I screwed up my strategy so much. I know he's not Choice Scarf though anymore, so I just go for a Destiny Bond, and I'm able to take out his Heliolisk, which could have potentially been a Focus Sash Heliolisk that would have really messed with my momentum. Here I'm going to go out to Ooble. He goes out into Timothy, his Mega Lopunny. Now, Mega Lopunny is such a problem for us. I got rid of my Cofagrigus too soon, and I didn't get a burn on this thing, and it was a mess. I feel so bad for like throwing my strategy out the window too by switching into Trevenant instead of Golurk, and yeah, the whole thing's kind of depressing me at this point. I'm like, oh, I had a great strategy and then I threw it away. Or I had a decent strategy and I threw it away. And here I want to scout out the set this Porygon 2 has. Using Toxic on the off chance he brings in his Lopunny. If I can get a Toxic on the Lopunny, I'd be in a happy position because then I'd be able to stall out the Lopunny a little bit. And it would add pressure on him not to use Fake Out. Which I don't want to use Fake Out because he's going to be burning Trick Room turns. Now, it looks like this Porygon 2 doesn't have any Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball moves that he wants to use on me. I thought for most of the match that he was probably just using Thunderbolt as a safe bet against like Sableye or something. But he's not carrying Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse, which is something that I probably could have realized at this point. But I was still sort of trying to figure out his set. And I didn't want him to have Ice Beam, because if he had Ice Beam, then I would lose my Golurk on the Switch, which is what I was most afraid of. So I set up my Trick Room too early, and I set it up because I wanted to pressure him a little bit, but that was another unintelligent play on my behalf. He will get a Pain Split off on, but here is where the Trick Room sort of falls through, I think. Yeah, Trick Room falls through, and now I'm slower than him. And he reveals he has Ice Punch, High Jump Kick, and Fake Out. Now, I have to rely on Andronicus here to do all the work, or at least take out his Lopunny. If I can take out his Lopunny with Andronicus, we win, because Sableye can handle the Pyroar and the Porygon 2. He switches out. Guess he knows that I can live one hit from this thing. So I'm going to set up a substitute on this thing, hoping it doesn't have Ice Beam. Doesn't have Ice Beam, then it gets paralyzed. Might have Ice Beam, it got paralyzed. I did talk to KnSlash after the match though, and he didn't have Ice Beam on his Porygon 2, so it didn't actually make that much of a difference, but it seemed like it did at the time. So I am full health behind a sub. All I need to do is be able to take out his Lopunny, and he goes into his Pyroar, hits me with a Fire Blast, and it kills my sub, and I have no choice but to go for a Drain Punch here. I could, technically, I guess I could have repeatedly subbed up and hoped for a Fire Blast miss, and that way I'd have some protection against Fake Out. But that wasn't a risk I wanted to take, and he's got Life Orb, so I wouldn't get my full health back, unfortunately. So here he goes for Fake Out, and does a decent amount of damage. And I did all my calcs for Drain Punch and a High Jump Kick, but I'm able to live the High Jump Kick with one hit point and kill with a Drain Punch. And Andronicus is a freaking monster. And so we were able to pick up another win, and now we're 4-0. So I just want to say I'm not proud of this victory at all. It feels like we lost. It came down to a roll. The roll was in our favor with the High Jump Kick, but our opponent also got the low roll with their Fake Out on the Lopunny on Andronicus. And yeah, it doesn't feel good because I threw away the strategy that I prepped. Instead of going to Golurk, I should have gone to Golurk, I went to Trevenant. Trevenant was backup Golurk, so it wasn't too big an issue. And then I could have completely stalled out that Swallow with substitutes, considering the fact that I had Citrus Berry, and the battle was in my. It was just I feel bad about this battle, as a whole, and I think I underperformed and I could have done a lot better. So hopefully in the final tournament, I get the chance to sort of redeem this team up against the normal team and pull out a solid victory, not one that's so heavily reliant on luck. What are you going to do with Pokemon, though?